you could tell yourself, ano ba nagagawin ko doon? But yes, just like what Doc mentioned a while ago, usually those guys who even make more or make the most are those who are always truly hungry. Hungry for knowledge, hungry for learning, hungry for coaching. And you know, they always feed themselves with positivity, with information, with enlightenment. And tonight it has reminded us of so many things. If you are going to summarize what I have learned, if I'm going to summarize it personally, I could say some message. I could say some important things that I had learned from our speakers. With that said, it should remind everyone that no matter how introvert, unconfident you are, that you can still have the most extrovert results.
Yes.
Look at the guy who has spoken for like the entire time on stage, you know, shaking and his voice rumbling, not because of too much excitement, but because of fear that he may disappoint you, that he is not as good as you think he is. But that certainly proves that this guy and anybody else, like you out there, regardless of your situation, regardless of the publicly perceived or publicly expected from a leader to be a well-rounded public speaker who's fantastic on stage. Just look at Edsel, remember Edsel Flores, and it should remind you to go out there and speak before a crowd, be fearless, have that big dreams. It can happen to you, regardless of your state. You don't have to be a Leon Carval, you don't have to be an Arthur Macogay or a Doc Butch to make things happen. Mahiyain ka, it can happen to you. And it has cemented the testament that yes, it has happened already. Though Edsel has mentioned Ferrari more than anything else tonight, this is simply because of his sheer excitement. That after a long time, after having gone through a lot, yes, the loudest, the most confident car possible today is owned by a totally introvert, a person who's totally unassuming, not confident enough. Confident, of course, but not that confident compared to those who are totally loud out, you know, in engagement in social media. And that's one lesson that we learned from the guy. And let me take the perfect example of commitment beyond excuses. When we heard simple words from love, that yes, they don't have an office in Milan, they're continents away. Uplines are not physically present. They're not alone, but uplines are far. Like 20 hours far. Products, when they run out of stock in Manila, imagine how much more they have to wait there on the other side of Earth. But that is commitment. That is giving no excuse. If you want to make things happen, you got no excuse. You can make it happen, regardless of your distance. And it should remind everyone, especially us based here in the Philippines, nearby an office or in the head office or in metropolitan Class A stores, that yes, you have the priority of getting the fresh delivery from Korea, from our suppliers. You have the opportunity to be with an upline, to be with a mentor, to be with a coach. Yet, you seem that far. You're farther than people who are from the other side of the earth. You know, when I went to Cebu, when I went to Zamboanga, people are so hungry. Like, they've never seen an upline, they've never seen a president before. And people who are in the metro, in Quezon City or in the head office, when you get the chance to be with mentors often, that's when you realize that parang, yeah, it's alright, it's always there. And, you know, I don't really have to be with him. I don't really have to spend time with him. I don't really have to talk to him because chances are I already know. I already knew what this guy's about to tell me. But guys, look at those people around us, far from us. They have less privilege than you do. And now imagine if you are in that situation. You're more likely to give up. Malayo. Ng office, apply, to stop, walang motivation, maraming challenges, in a foreign land, different language, skin color is being gauged. Even until now, what you sell is not a popular product in the region. When people would like to get tan or get darker skins, you know, or skin color, or skin tone, and here you are selling products that, you know, enlighten the skin. And in European market, in Italian, or in particularly in Milan, they are parang baliktad yung produkto. Yet, they're doing it. And that's not only love through the efforts of uplines, they're making it happen. Arthur has a strong presence in Milan and also in Middle East. You know, they're doing it right now. Meetings like this will not only remind us of how lucky we are because we are in this room.
Yes.
The idea that you're invited here either makes you a qualifier or somebody who's totally close to a qualifier or a top leader of the company who would vouch you to attend this meeting. And sometimes by important or special invitation you get to attend here. And a lot of people disregard, a lot of leaders do not really pay attention on attending this one. Lian has pretty much reminded us tonight that when events like this, you got to cancel a lot of things. If at all, cancel everything. Not only that he did mention a lot about family and the values that you need to build your team, especially you and your spouse, you with your family, because you hardly spend time with them, right? Especially when you're totally engrossed in doing NWorld like 24/7. It should be a reminder to all of us that no matter how many events, or may malaking pay-in doon may magbabayad doon ng 300 packages, or 200 packages, or 500 packages. You know, somehow, this night cannot be done again. The same passion, the same style, the same energy, the same set of people speaking before you guys. And the lessons are quite priceless.
Yes.
Yes. You can see this live, you can browse it again, but being in that place at this moment should make you all now realize how important your efforts paid off very well right now.
Yes.
No, you're not lucky. You just deserve to be here right now because these are the results of what you've done in the past. You're not here because accidentally you're in the head office. Hindi ka sumama na sa Shangri-La. And then I can bring you in. You're here because of the results that you have today from the efforts you've done yesterday. And come next night with the President, next big events, it will be the efforts of your today, tomorrow. Arthur pretty much reminded us that yes, no matter how much fear or how many fears we fear in life, that at the greatest peak or highest peak of fear, on the other side of that is the realization of your dreams. You might fear looking like or being like stupid. You know, we've been stupid all our lives, thinking what we're thinking we're right. Tonight I asked Doc, which you could all learn a perfectly good example from, that leaders are good followers. Leaders are obedient people. When I asked Doc, Doc, can you speak before the crowd? Can you give them something that we could share together in essence of principles and beliefs? You know, Doc was really unassuming that, first, alam na naman nila lahat eh. Nakikinig pa sila sa atin. may maituturo pa ba ako sa kanila, kaya nga top earner sila eh. You know, but anyhow, he followed. He prepared, and I personally learned a lot of things. Leaders follow. Leaders don't only lead, they're good followers. And you know, Doc is not in any way obliged to really follow me. But for some reason, when you understand your purpose, when you understand your role in an organization, your role in a team, you pretty much will be able to deliver what Doc just delivered right now. Without hesitation, he shared to you some valuable and irrefutable laws of success from the person who made it into reality. You will read lots of books. See a lot of people profess and discuss about how they made things happen, but a lot of them do not have a routine evidence or results to support them. Doc Bush is just one of a very few set of people or leaders in the industry that could back up all his trainings, his teachings with proofs. Most of them are here tonight.
Yes.
Bihira yung nagtuturo na merong resulta. Bihira yung nagtuturo na bukal sa loob niya na i-share sa inyo kung anong meron siya. A lot of people would totally hide it from the world. Sa grupo na lang natin ituro ito. Ibabagsak natin doon, konti lang. The reason why we are here tonight is that leaders as you are, not only because there's an orientation for New Zealand, of course, that's not the precise reason why we're here, but we took this opportunity to discuss what's going to happen on Monday. Because we're flying out Monday night, right? And you may not all be particularly joining the trip, but for those who won't, you would understand how exciting it's going to be. And you will begin to understand as early as now, which I hope you do, that I should be part of that training, I should be part of the next night with the President, I should be part of the next awarding, I should be part of that next travel incentive. I have to be a qualifier next time. Because if you don't see yourself in that situation after hearing from them, then you are, ladies and gentlemen, quite in a wrong state of mind. Or should I say, okay ka na sa ganyan. And for me, I have to remind everyone that yes, when we started, when there were no results yet, the ones that you have right now, when there were no Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Rolls-Royce, or million check payout per week, multi-millions per month, nung wala pa yan, everyone was willing to do, everyone was willing to commit.
Tama.
Everyone was hustling like
Hindi pa
crazy.
kumikita.
You remember those days, those moments, when you hardly have proper rest in a night or in a week. Like 3 oras sa isang gabi, napakaswerte mo na.
Correct.
O 5 oras sa isang gabi, napakaswerte mo na. Right now, I do not blame people when they hustle less because they believe they have already leveraged. And a lot of people have been trying to disrupt and distort the orientation, the idea, the belief, the doctrines that people need to work harder as they become bigger. Right? Okay, can we continue later? Thank you. I really do that. When you become bigger, you need to work harder. It is not the other way around, that when you become bigger in network marketing, you got 10,000 people under your organization, you got 100,000 people under your organization, you work less. That's not true. It is true as it is in business. When we were like a 70 million peso company on our 2015 performance, like it was like couple of weeks, couple of months performance, it was so difficult for me to realize that I am already in this company by myself, with my team. No one above me. Because in the past, there were people, there were owners beyond me. And I thought, siguro sa simula lang ito. The following year, when we did a quite significant performance, hitting more than 2 billion, the problem, the challenges, I should say challenges than problem, the challenges keep becoming bigger. You know what I'm saying? The amount of capitalization required for a startup company of 100 million, sobrang pondo mo palagi for the products. Now, imagine you you operating an organization that does about 2 billion annually and more than 300 people in different locations, leaders from different parts of the country with different requirements, iba-iba ugali, iba-iba background, iba-ibang nature of thinking about network marketing. Others, I'm committed with NWorld because I'm making a lot of money. When policies were adjusted, when new implementations were sanctioned, things change. Making money becomes tougher because you no longer get to buy more than 15 packages. You no longer get to kamada your system. I mean, let's put it in that language. You know what it means. I don't have to explain it to you. And it now involves you really working hard, di ba? Kala mo madali eh. I mean, it's no longer as easy as before. But that is my job. As CEO, as your leader, I really have to monitor the performance of the company and make necessary adjustments when needed, not only when wanted. And then you start becoming less committed, less hardworking, less passionate, less dedicated. Why? Mahirap na eh. Come on guys. Tell me anything outside NWorld or tell me anything outside your employment, any business, na hindi mahirap. Lahat mahirap. When you get accustomed to making money easily, reasons behind making money so easily, you're doing something not really essential for a sustained growth or something that will give you a long-term beneficial effect. Kadalasan pangadali. Kadalasan immediate gratification. And a lot of people are quite, crazy about immediate effect, immediate gratification. The word instant became very popular, very particularly, welcome by everybody because madali ang lahat. Tama sinabi nito. And for that reason, our products did phenomenally. May instant results. However, I have to tell you this, adjustments were made. And I would say, whenever you implement a change or certain changes, there will always be hesitation, there will always be hurdles, difficulties. But look at you today. After making the right adjustment, you sell naturally, organically. Walang artificial sales. Walang nagpapanggap na may benta ka na ikaw lang din naman yun. And then you're making a lot of money, pera mo lang din naman yun. Or somehow, baka hindi mo pa pera yun, and then you just borrow it from someone. And then, you will return it with a certain 3 or 5% return on the utang, hoping because you're making 20% or even more. I am saying that right now because I chose what's proper and what's right, even if they're difficult or even harder to do. Mahirap mag-adjust when we're already at the height of our success. Only bold and people who know where they're going would take that risk of making that adjustment. I did. There were collateral damages, there were, casualties. I call them casualties. People who would wish, sana ganun pa rin din, I would just don't do it. And I've been quite known in the industry that I kick out people, that I let go people, because I'd rather be with the right set of people on tougher times than be with the wrong set of people on good times, because during tough times, iwanan ka rin ng mga maling tao niya. And 2 years in the business, making such maneuver, a risky maneuver, hindi yung gagawin ng taong takot sa sarili niya. You always want to make a popular decision, a famous one. Diba? You don't want to make an unpopular decision at the height of your success. When you're doing 200, 250 million a month, you don't want to change anything. There's something seems to be not a requirement for changing anything. But kagagawa ng ganong adjustment. And here we are. Here you are. You may not be doing on papers as much as before. For some of you who were not able to properly cope through these adjustments. But those guys who did are doing better. They net out more. You know what I'm saying? Net out or net payout, net take home is more. Why? Because you don't unnecessarily pay taxes when you really did not make net income out of your own efforts. But sarili mong pera umikutan din. You got to understand that efforts must be put in. You got to put it in. If you want to make things happen for you, put in the efforts. Put in the commitment. If you're thinking that why is it easier to make money before, simply because you have no conditions before. You work unconditionally. You commit unconditionally. You dedicate unconditionally. Wala kang arte. Let's put it in that term. Sabi nito, wala kang arte-arte. When you start doing arte, when you start committing conditions, okay, I'll join you, provided, kailangan may 15 tao dyan na magbabayad at least kalahati. Hindi kita sasamahan kung tatlo lang kakausapin natin, kailangan tatlo. Remember before, na isa lang kausap mo, excited ka pa pumunta? And remember before, when there were no products at all, you were dashing, you were selling like crazy. And guess what? That before, that kind of excitement, that dashing experience you try to give to everybody, if you keep doing that, even until now, you'll get better results. I was asked once upon a time, during my recent trips, what keeps you keep aspiring for more? You now own a multi-billion peso company. 2 years ago, there was nothing. We didn't know that it would be like this 2 years ago. I knew it would be not 2 years later, maybe 5 years later or 8 years later. It came that soon. And the reason behind, people with relentless unconditional commitment to achieving their goals. Goals in forms of a brand new sports car, mansions, or just a regular source of income that will allow you to live your lives. How's that? Hindi kotse. I mean, we're just simply talking about, I just need to pay my dues. I just need to pay my apartment. My amortization for the 5-year-old car that I refinanced after the transition because I want to join Press. I want to join you. That's what happened. And today, at the comforts of your homes or at the comforts of your weekly income, it's now easier to make excuses. Imagine if love is in a situation where there is an office and there's an upline physically present most of the time. Like what you have. People in those far-flung areas, in the provinces, and outside the main stores of NWorld in the city, you will see people travel like 3 hours, 5 hours, 7 hours, or even farther than that. As to me, we are compelled to really work on providing you complete available inventories all the time. And the desire, the ambitions to be a global company in this short span of time is something sort of a truly fascinating one. But at the end of the day, we're all from here. You got to think clearly. Do I really go international right now? Go full blast internationally? Or go back to our grassroots and remind our leaders and help them until we are totally ready? For me, it was the latter. I have this particular realization about if Dubai is like 9 hours away, Cebu is like 1.5. Zamboanga, they're like 2 hours away. Baguio or Pangasinan, 3, 4, 5 hours away. I'm sharing this to you so that you would understand that there's a gold rush happening outside the Philippines. People outside the Philippines or in the Philippines would like to go to UAE, would like to go international. But guys, let this be a reminder to all of us. We've reached this far, Philippine market alone. And I'm reminding everyone that yes, there is a promise outside the Philippines, but right now, I want you to understand, we got to work on what we have here. Definitely this year is a better year than 2016. And this coming November, our 2016 performance, our first full year performance, will be showcased and will be displayed officially through a national ranking of top corporations that has been ranking corporations since more than 3 decades ago. This is not an award-giving body. This is not an organization you pay off so you could include your company. I'm going to pay you this sponsorship. I'm going to pay you this amount of money. Then I'm going to be part of that. And I want to be in that particular number. We're talking about the top 1,000 corporation of this country. That, when it goes out, should remind you of how diligent, how faithful, how committed you were with the craft 2 years ago. Well, at least a year ago. Yun yung result na meron tayo nalabas next month. And the result that we're going to harvest next year is quite a performance that we have until December 31st or 30th, perhaps. Tonight should be a recollection of how great we started without having great results to begin with. And yet, we came this far, this great, this phenomenal. Now, having all that was promised and committed to all of you, the stores, the products, the facilities, the incentives, the uplines were going around. Tell me you could do more.
Yes.
Remind yourself that you could do more. It should remind us that yes, nagawa nga natin lahat ng wala pang FDA registration. Nagawa nga natin lahat ng wala pang mga produkto. And now, like we have 18 products, what more could we do? Ang dami pa. We started with 12, now we have 18. We started with 1 office, now we have 16. We even have 1 international facility. We have 2 currencies right now, UAE and the Philippine currency. What more could we have the next year or the years to come? But how about us? Today is a calling, and I'm calling you out for another challenge. You need to grow your base of successful distributors by doing what you did 2 years ago. You extend to them your commitment, your passion, your support. Today, madali na kasi magabang sa office, di ba? You see a lot of people in the office, di ba? And then, when you're in the office, you just tell people, you bring prospects here, bring new customers, I'll do the work for you. But like what Doc said earlier, lead by example. How people can bring prospects if they don't even see you bring prospects. Perhaps that's one good reason why Doc did sign up a new customer last time. Because it's true. If you don't use it, if you don't practice it, you will lose it. And when you lose your gift or your talent, the one that you harnessed very well over the last 2 years, mahirap mag-rebound. Imagine if you're making, at the height of your success right now, a lot of people are making 4 or 5 million today. Tell me a company, network marketing company that has been there for a decade, not even those who've been there for a long, long time, have distributors making that much income. 2 years ka pa lang. 2 years pa lang tayo. But that should not be a reason for you to be reluctant. Hindi mo kailangan mag-relax. I'm not saying you are not entitled to enjoy your income. I'm not saying you are not entitled to take a vacation. What I'm saying, in any business, when you become successful in 2 years, traditional business, you do not relax. You do not buy a mansion or a sports car. Or you do not divest and invest somewhere else. You focus, you reinvest in your business. But our greatest advantage over traditional business, you get to buy your dreams and even use them as a reinvestment to your business. Sorry for the term investment. It's not investment putting out money. It's about you when when you make a mansion, when you make a purchase of a Ferrari or Lamborghini, whatever, Mustang or Camaro. In traditional business, walang value yan. You don't use that to help your business. Here, fortunately, you get to use them. And how soothing it is that napaka-convenient for you, nabili mo na yung gusto mo, nakatulong ka pa sa negosyo mo. Now, all you need to do is use them. Use them to expand your business. Oh boy, not because may Ferrari ka na, you will stop there. Remember, you got to allow your closest frontliners and secondliners to be like you or even better than you within the next 2 years. The testament of success today among network marketing leaders or in any form of leadership, success in leadership today is about the success of people who followed your leadership. It's no longer about the results that you have. You may be making 10 million a month, but if there's not even a person making 1/4 of that, 1/10 of that in your organization, you're the only one making that amount of money, you're not really successful per se. You're making a lot of money. But network marketing dictates you got to create leaders who will be like you or even better than you. I prefer the latter, creating better leaders than you. And I'm happy because I have seen a lot of leaders here become better than their versions 2 years ago, a year ago. And I could say leaders of NWorld today are even better than how we were in the past.
Yes.
10 years ago, when you say, magaling na leader to, he's really magaling. As in, this guy does blood, sweat, and tears like kind of efforts. Hindi yung convenient lang, hindi sa coffee shop lang, hindi sa hotel lang, before even sa college, you do the business presentation. But today, you got the facilities, you got the comforts of technology. I'm not saying you go back to the approach that you do before, but use what you've been doing in the past with today's technology, with the leaders that you have. Think of kamusta na nangyari sa mga na-sponsoran ko. My message to you tonight, think of them, not think of yourself. If you're at that state, I'm making less today, example, it's not for your upline or it's not for the company to uplift you to how you used to make or how you want your income to be. You remind yourself, ano bang ginagawa ko sa mga na-sponsor ko? In the end, walang bearing yung nasa taas mo. If people who are totally successful, they do not like to complain. They do not put blames to others.
Correct.
They take responsibility. I've seen people say, I used to make a lot of money because before, even if there are no sign-ups, I can sign up myself. And yeah, congratulations. You have faith, your success. You and your 6,000 accounts, you consider yourself successful? Come on. True success survives the test of time. True success survives the test of challenges.
Yes.
You may get down to your knees for a while, or even lay down for a while, or get tired. Get up. Bangon. Be resilient. Aralin mo yung bagong approach. Mahusay ka before. And the word before is included. You have to be good today, not just before. And if you're in any problem right now, in any troubled situation, whether income, family, or life, or network, if you already know the problem, the solution to the problem, trust me, you won't be in that situation right now. Politico, if you already know the solution to that problem, you won't be in that situation right now.
Yes.
piece of advice, listen. It is good to listen. Because when we listen, we understand things beyond our realm. Ulitin ko, kung alam mo yung solusyon, hindi ka magkakaproblema. In short, it is not within you. It's not inside you. It is outside your realm. So listen. Why? People who speak to you are from your outside. They're not within you. Wala sila sa sarili mo. So if somebody whom you trust or somebody whom you ask, say for example, Doc or June or Lian or Arnel or Pauline or anybody else, approach your upline, approach your coach. Coach, can you tell me something? Because I feel I'm not growing anymore. Or I feel that I have potential to grow, but I could not grow myself. Instead of suggesting something or thinking of a new strategy, it pays to listen. I'm not saying you don't do anything by yourself, but it pays to get help from somebody else. I was introduced once upon a time, and that once upon a time was not so long time ago. Self-made billionaire. I had to correct the person. I'm not self-made. Nobody on earth is self-made.
Yes.
Nobody.
Yes.
If I don't have the wife to help me, if I don't have my team to support me, if I don't have my leaders to strengthen me, I won't be here. I'm not self-made. The definition of self-made is that you did it yourself. It's not an inherited wealth. It's not something passed on to you through a donation or by someone else. Self-made, ikaw mismo gumawa. There is not such a thing on earth today. And even in the past. And for sure, even in the future. So start thinking of the idea that when you are in a troubled situation, which I'm not saying you are, but this is my message for you. Listen. It is good to listen. But, this is what I always say, it is better to pay attention. A lot of people listen. Nag-a-advise si upline, nakikinig tayo. We listen. Nagpo-coach si mentor. Free mentor, or kung sino mang mentor. Whether your parents, your older brother, your church mate, your life coach, your kapitbahay, your financial advisor, your estate planner, your lawyer. You listen. But do you really pay attention to what they say? Do you really pay attention to what they tell you? Do you really pay attention to what they give to you? Or you only listen and do things that you want to do? And that's not paying attention. Because if you listen and pay attention, you will understand that it may be difficult for you to do, but you need to do it anyhow.
Yes.
You need to do it anyway. Because when you need a good advice, listen from somebody, and if it doesn't hurt you, that's not the right advice. Trust me, if it doesn't hurt you, it's not the right advice.
Yes, correct.
Bakit? Because if it is so comfortable for you, oy, tama, alam ko na yan. That's the reason why you were precisely in that situation, because you thought you knew everything.
Yes.
Because you thought you knew a lot of things. And if it doesn't hurt you, it is not the right advice. Do you feel me?
Yes.
I'm saying this right now, guys, because you are some of the grand leaders of this company. If you have not noticed yet, NWorld is growing so fast
Yes.
that people of different, even executives, we no longer share time together. Everybody is doing their own, their own stuffs. Finance, operations, hiyang-hiya operations sa inyo. So am I. So I told them you got to dedicate more time. I wish I could be in Dubai, but I have a lot of things to do. I'll go there. I wish I could join the Atlantis tour, but yun na nga eh. We're growing so fast. Then we delegate. And you know what? These are the things that we've been doing, we've been adjusting lately, that we really don't have to do things all the time all together. Or all together all the time. Before, you used to go to a store or you storm a store. Like, go to Davao. Saan po tayo pupunta doon? We don't have the luxury of that today. We need to share to more people right now. And for you, our leaders, you need to level up. That will happen if you pay attention. It's good to listen, better to pay attention. As you pay attention, you will realize, I have committed a lot of mistakes. I pretty much made the wrong approach to prospecting. Kaya pala nga hindi nag-sign up o nga. Hindi nag-sign up because I did it wrong. And you know what? A lot of leaders think just because they're leaders, what they're doing are the right set of things. They get to command people because of the results that they've created in the past. And that's a leadership by example. And again, I was asked, why do I have to travel the country? I mean, not famous destinations. I'm nothing to be afraid about going to Zamboanga. But when you talk about famous destinations, we're thinking of Baguio, we're thinking of Cebu, we're thinking of Davao. We're thinking of the best performing stores. You go to Angeles, you go to Laguna, you go to Las Piñas. The convenient ones, Quezon Ave, Fairview, they're not that far. But why go to places that are not famous? Not famous for you going around, going around the town, driving Mark's Camaro, or being in a room full of, leaders, hundreds of them, from that peninsula. And you will be surprised. Because when you travel around, when you begin to get in touch with people, you will understand truly the situation. That, hey, in that peninsula alone, how many results were created? How many sports cars? How many homes purchased? How many people got out of bed because of energy? How many leaders sent their children to good schools? Sometimes even outside Zamboanga. You see that before we go, look too far, sometimes the opportunities to grow are just under our noses. Di ba, nandiyan lang pala sila? So guys, do not lose hope. If you didn't become part of UAE's, grand launch, di ka kasama nung nagsimula, we're going to build more countries.
Yes.
We're going to expand more.
Yes.
And if I keep announcing where I'm going to go,
Yes.
most likely I'm not going there. Why did I announce my next move? But if you're quite, particularly aware of how we do things here, we don't announce really our next moves.
Yes.
Leaders as you are, you're invited here because there's something in you.
Yes.
And that something is just like what Doc did, like on the fourth slide, bias for action. I said it's good to listen, better to pay attention, but it's best to take action.
Yes.
Yes.
You are the game changers of the industry today.
Yes.
Do action.
You got to take actions in your hands, out of your efforts, out of your network. Take away the limits in your head. Press $500,000 a month na ako eh. This is beyond my imagination. When 2 years ago, I could only dream to make 50,000 a month. Now I'm making 300,000 a month. Now I'm driving a Mazda. I'm driving a Camaro. I'm driving a 96. Let alone the Rolls Royce, the Porsches or the Lamborghinis. Take them away. Sometimes, when you dream too much, and when you achieve them, puts little too much about what you could really do. Because you could really do more.
Yes.
Problem is, you set that goal too high, and you were so phenomenal, you achieved it. If you do not attend meetings like this, if you do not engage yourselves with people like this, you will not grow further.
Yes.
That's what your mind could conceive. What you have right now are the things your mind conceived years ago, yesterday. Whether a year ago, 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, or 2 weeks ago. That's what you are today. And that's same as what you read, what you hear to, or what you watch, what you do. That's the result of yesterday. Kung ano ka ngayon. When Lian said earlier that thanks to me and other leaders did the same because I elevate them, you know what I do when I'm not with NWorld? I hang out with people who I believe are ahead of me. That's what I do. So what do I do? Do I hang out with another leader from another MLM company? Or an owner of another MLM company? I don't. Well, I do sometimes. But I hang out with people whom I believe I could learn from. And it pains me to see how far I am. Even if you say, we are this huge, we are too far. 2 billion is a phenomenal, performance of our talents and our commitment to this company. But when you say a company, when you are with somebody, you can start calling him a friend. What's a company that did like 200 billion last year? And you have a better car than him. You have more branded, shirts or shoes or more expensive watch than him or them. What would you really feel? I think there's something wrong with me. And it taught me that there was something wrong because it hurt me. An advice could hurt you if it is the right one, and sometimes it doesn't have to be the advice of another person. It could be your own self-realization when you see the world, how wrong you are. And the more you realize how wrong you were, the better you grow. Nobody ever learned, nobody ever grew to become better. The moment he realizes that he's already at the best of his career, at the peak of his career, or the best in the industry.
Yes.
And the moment you realize that you're way far behind, is that day you begin a new challenge in your life.
Yes.
I want all of us, including myself, to be reminded of that. Guys, what you are making today, what we are making today, the results that we have today are puny, are tiny, compared to the future that lies ahead of our fears, of our comfort zones. Performance because of convenience. They are on the other side of the lead that covers us. It's high time that we bring this company to the next level higher.
Yes.
The true next level higher.
Yes.
When you say, what's the true next level higher? Were the things that we were doing before press not true, not right? They were right during the time. And today, we need to elevate. We need to grow the business. We need to grow ourselves. We grow ourselves by committing to helping one another. Yes, you got it right. You got to help one another. Doc went to Davao last time. Well, because of the size of this network, it's like people everywhere. But then particularly benefiting him more than a newly signed customer. He went there anyway. For 2 nights. One exclusive session with one group, another one open for all. We'll be doing more often than the usual, that we'll be sharing it all throughout the country. Why do we need to do that? It should not be like only the head office people who will make this much. It's not only the trainers from head office should go to the provinces. It could be like people from Cebu or from Davao or from Baguio or from somewhere else to be going around the country doing their own fair share of training, sharing their own success stories.
Yes.
How they are doing it in that particular terrain, geography, situation, political, social, religious situation, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Nasa head office tayo, it's easy for me to say that you can make things happen. When you are out there in the provinces, it's not the same thing. That even to go to an office, after like 5 hours of travel, is already a challenge.
Yes.
Much more to get a prospect who's willing to listen, who's willing to pay attention, who's willing to be demonstrated with products of NWorld. In areas like where our Muslim brothers are the dominating population, you cannot do the demonstration. We all know that. That applies here. You can do that in a country where the majority of the population or follow specific religion. You cannot do that. So does that mean that we do not go beyond that barrier? Tigil na tayo? So does that mean entirely yung tinuro nito hindi na applicable? Yung sharing ng ibang leaders hindi na ngayon applicable?
Yes.
Does it make sense? Diba? There are regions na hindi mo sila pwedeng demohan. You cannot even see their faces. You cannot even touch them. Tama? So how do we break through that? By consistently upgrading ourselves. You know, occasions like this, you're not compelled to do what we just taught you. You're not compelled to do what we just shared to you. But we just offered you an option. If you will follow it, and you find it effective for yourself, for your group, carry on. If it doesn't, adjust. Adjust. Like this was not the approach 2 years ago. These were not the strategies a year ago. How come right now, when you speak to me, I will tell you, be proud to the network, mag-recruit ka. Because it was as it is today, in the past, mag-recruit ka naman talaga eh. It's just that the products are the driving force for bringing in people na nire-recruit mo. Do not be ashamed to recruit people. Do not be ashamed to do the networking. Huwag kang mahiya.
Yes.
We are trying to play safe. And no, we're not recruiting you. Hindi kami nagbibilog-bilog dito. Just demonstrate the products. They're great products. You know, you don't really have to do that. Why do you even have to do that? Why do you even have to say that?
Yes.
What if the person wants to recruit more people?
Yes.
And it is an accepted, legitimate, or legal approach to bring in customers.
Yes.
What's not legal? What's not legit? Is recruiting them for something that they're paying for anything, yielding them money for not doing anything, promising them returns when you don't have the license to offer those products. But bring in customers, guys. Sign up a customer. Demo mo ng produkto or presenta mo ng opportunity by selling the products. Fine. Huwag kang mahiya na maghanap ng customer. Huwag kang masanay na maghahanap ka ng isang mayaman lang na bibili ng 5,000 account.
Yes.
At ipapangalan sa anak, sa misis, sa helper, sa 10 helper,
Yes.
para pumasok sa kitse.
Yun eh.
I mean, you're fooling yourself.
Yes.
Organic.
I've been in the industry long enough, and I have seen none survive the challenges of times and regulations who do that for a living. Wala. And just in case you want to know how, these guys are making a lot consistently in spite of just having 2 heads. Sorry for the term, but I'm using it right now. 2 packages o 3 NTC lang siya. Simply because brute force ang nangyari sa ilalim. Organic, natural.
Yes.
Trabaho lahat.
Yes.
Yes.
Hindi sila tumitigil dahil nakakaya kasi. Diba, demo-demo lang tayo. Kung gusto sana mag-sign up, taga-ganito MLM company. Kaya lang, puro product demo raw tayo eh.
Tama.
Puro demo-demo, ayaw tuloy sumama. Gusto na mag-recruit. Come on guys, bring them in.
Yes.
Sama na sila rito. It's about time you break that barrier.
Yes.
Nobody said it is the barrier that hinders you, but I know for a lot of people that is a barrier. You are at a certain state of mind in the past, some even today, that you have that thinking, hindi kami dapat nag-recruit. Of course, you value quality time with your loved ones, so you don't have to stay longer, like beyond 11 in the evening in the office on regular day-to-day operation, then stay like wee hours of the morning, gather around. That's not how it's being done. I'm not saying you do that. I'm saying bring in customers regardless of your approach. And when you do, you have the opportunity to teach them how things must be done. But you need to take the action. Trabaho. You need to execute, you need to implement what you've learned. And in ending, I would like to tell you that leaders have their own different approaches. I have to say this so that you understand that I'm not enforcing upon you what Lian shared tonight. I'm not particularly in that perfect state of mind. Si Doc lang yung tama. Or kailangan sundin mo lang yun. That was the apprehension of Doc. First, baka hindi pareho kami ng approach ng apply. Tama, Doc? Baka ipaturo ng apply, baka mag-conflict. Baka may magalit, may magtaas ng pilay. Guys, information that we just shared you, pieces of information that we just shared you, are valuable lessons. It's up to you now to digest and implement upon your territory and your network. Adjust kung hindi kaya ng buo. Little by little.
Yes.
Konti muna. Until such time, kaya mo na sumabay. But guys, look at this. One scenario. If you do not build your network, you will get tired one day, you will get burned. You will realize, para pala akong traditional business, para akong nagsari-sari store lang, para pala akong tayo lang ng karinderya, ako lang din lang ang nagbebenta. This is network marketing, guys. This is multi-level marketing. Get as much people as possible who will use the products, sell the products, share the products, teach people to do the same, and repeat the cycle. And at the end of the day, when everyone in your organization does something, when they sell something, you get something from it.
Yes.
That's the essence of this. It is not you doing the mass selling by yourself. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Look at this. Is it a coincidence that you don't find Enshan and Embody products sold at a lower price on social media compared to Nlighten and Enhance? Is it a coincidence, or there's like a particular reason why nobody sells Embody and Enshan at a lower price? The accident yun, di ba? We all know because Enhance and Nlighten are part of a certain package selection, then people get to sell them at a lower price. Nakapir na ako. And how's your level of compassion for the company? Yeah, I understand. You cannot help out if you do not help yourself first.
Yes.
That's right. But make a little adjustment. If you have done that in the past, you are not being persecuted today. You are not wrong today. If you've done that in the past. But if you keep doing that today, you're doing wrong to yourself. Ikaw mahihirap mag-grow. Go out there and build a massive and phenomenal empire of network builders.
Yes.
Pag network ka, talaga ng tao,
Yes.
let them do the same. Because years from now, you will thank yourself for undergoing the process of change. Natuto ka. But if you don't learn from that failure, that's nothing but a pitfall in your life. You will consider that as one of the darkest moments of your life. But if you consider that a lesson that you need to outgrow and develop yourself from, you'll be better than who you were yesterday.
Yes.
Correct.
And huwag kang magtaka bakit si Arthur, sila Doc, sila Lian, yung mga ganyan sasakyan. No, not because
100%.
3,000 ang packages nila or 5,000 ang accounts or 10,000. Of course not. Eh, press, sila naman kasi they have learned it from way before. And that's the reason why I'm telling you, learn it now. If you don't know how to do that years before, start doing it now. I'm not saying while 2 years pa lang tayo. Because we're 2 years in the business. We got to learn more. Marami tayong adjustments na gagawin. We are not a perfect company. Nobody is. Nobody will be. So when things like this happen to us, we make adjustments. And look at us today, look at you today. When making the right adjustments, and when you implement the natural way of building an organization, you get to have more committed leaders. Real people. You speak to real people. When you do Facebook Live, there are people watching you. It's not just you and your dog just watching you. There's like dozens of people, hundreds of people, even thousands of people, or thousands of views. Hundreds of thousands of views after a few days. Why? Because you have this following. And don't you wish to be something more than just being a network marketing top earner? You could be more. Today's network marketers could be the future influencers of our society.
Yes.
Imagine tonight, I'm not running for any position, I'm not promoting any candidate, but here you are. Here I am. Here I was in my seat earlier listening to somebody professing and teaching something. And I clap my hands. And I nod yes. But am I promoting anybody? No. But I'm saying we are influencing one another. You believe, Lian, when he says these are the things that must be done. Nakikinig ka kay Arthur, nakikinig ka kay Dom, nakikinig ka sa mga nagsasalita. Because we have demonstrated to you that what we do, they work.
Yes.
Ulitin ko, if sa mga bagay na narinig mo tonight, tinamaan ka, nasaktan ka, pay close attention to that. Pay close attention to that. And do as necessary as soon as possible. That's the best thing you could do for yourself. And those things na alam mo na, congratulations. We have just reminded you about what you already know. So you would not forget them. But those things that hurt you could really mean a great deal of learning for you. A great deal of adjustment, a great deal of development for you. Why? Nasaktan ka, it will remind you tonight as you go home, mali-mali ginagawa ko. If you don't make the adjustment, the following day, you will commit the same set of efforts and kind of work, and then next week you will have the same results. Unless you make the adjustment. And thus, guys, I hope and pray and wish that the learnings that you heard, you paid attention so much tonight, you execute.
Yes.
You take it consideration.
Yes.
I also like to give you some schedule of events. Okay sa inyo?
Yes.
That as early as now, you need to put some, you just take a photo of them. I've been posting them anyway. Can you do the only slide that I would like to share them? Come November 4, in our head office at the Belvedere. That's just like a week after. Just like a week after New Zealand, we'll have an important event. Like the New Zealand Travel Incentive Qualifiers will share their experience. Right? How else do we want, to grow and expand our business? Share the wonderful experience of doing Nlighten. Share the tasteful food, the nice wine in New Zealand, the great company, the river rafting, which we hope nobody gets hurt, but only pure fun. We got to share that. Right? Lian and Arthur and Pauline and Fatima, right? Try not to fall off again, okay? No, try not to fall off without again. Try not to fall off. Baka naman yun, ikaw naman magpasikat doon, baka naman itaway mo pa ako. People buy your story. Not the idea that it's an expensive tour from Japan, we decided to bring you to New Zealand. Share the story. And people will have to relive themselves na nandun sila, like as if kasama natin. And that's very important. And I know very well how important it is for people who have not been in a travel incentive like this. It doesn't happen in New Zealand. It so happens it is New Zealand. We have to share it to them. Today, a lot of leaders were invited. who may not be qualifiers. But they're invited anyhow. Why? Their uplines before, do not bring them here. Their leaders, do not bring them here. But they're now brought here. Why? Because they need to see how things are being done. Nag-games pa pala sila para mga bata. Yes. You know, we do things normal people do. They also drink. They also take selfies a lot. They dress well. They dress nice. And President is like a normal being. He calls out the attention of people he doesn't want disturbing him.
Hey, that's fine.
That's me. That's us. Why? Because we're not perfect beings and you have to see how we do things. So, on your own, you can have a night with grand upline, with the free mentor, with the leader of Prodigy organization ninyo. And you got some experience to share. And it is very important that you let other people shine. Perhaps Doc Bush, I think Doc Bush is not only good at that. He is best known for that. Diba, hindi na mahusay si Doc na iba ang sikat, iba ang nag-get ng credit for his own credits, and he loves doing that. He's best known for that. He's the type of person who takes least possible credits. Very unassuming. And now, you see, ganun pala yun. Because in